So, guys,
Uh-huh.
did you all hear about the guy journalist who masturbates at work? Nah? Manze, his office is full of sticky notes.
I just got that.
Okay, that's a good one. I did not see that coming.
All on his papers.
I did not see it. Okay.
Hey there.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to On a Friday podcast. We hope you're cool on this Friday and you're having a good time. I am Pascal,
I'm Ron.
and welcome again wherever you're listening to us from Spotify, YouTube. Those are the two mainly places manzi wasanasikiza poa.
Audio Mark.
Yeah.
By the tuko Nigeria sahi, Jollof Radio.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice. Can we say radio pia as well?
Yes.
From wherever you're listening to us in the continent, in the world, we are grateful that you're here with us.
Yeah.
Today, we have a really strong conversation.
Yes.
We all feel very passionate about today's
About this
conversation.
yeah.
And a lot of people need to hear it more and more.
Yes.
Today, we're talking about safe sex. There are a lot of terms. I don't know how to put it. Safe sex, sexual health. And for that, we got a visitor all the way from Embu.
Mm-hmm.
Akama tuambie watu umefika salama.
Yeah,
The
but
travel
traffic.
Traffic ya Nairobi ni
Goodness. That's why I like Mount Kenya. Si kila mtu anatwanga gari yake en month.
Huko ni mabikes tu zinasonga.
Well, no. We have German machines, but what can we say?
Sawa.
Yeah.
Sawa. Karibu. Can you introduce yourself?
My name is Olive Wambui.
Yes.
I'm popularly known as Aunty Wambo. That is my stage name because I'm an actor as well.
Nice.
Script writer, cinematographer, podcast host, podcaster.
Hey.
Yeah,
Hidden.
award-winning SRHR
Tell
champion.
them.
Yeah,
Ah,
I was told women should brag.
you're not bragging enough.
Eka CV,
Yes.
watu wakujue.
In case kuna mtu anapeana kazi.
Yeah.
And in Embu, they call me Aunty wa Condoms because what I mostly do in the SRHR space is educate people on safer sex. I heard you say safe sex.
Safe sex.
Safe sex. It's safer.
Safer sex.
Yeah, because everyone tries to have safe sex, but very few people know about safer sex.
Nice.
Sorry, what is SRS?
Sexual reproductive health rights.
Okay.
Yeah.
SRHR.
SRHR. Sexual
Sexual reproductive health rights.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awareness.
So ni mambo tu ya sex and condoms.
It's a lot more, but sex is the primary.
Yeah.
Hiyo ndio
It's
inatulink.
the denominator.
Yes.
So karibu sana Olive
you.
and your condoms. By the way, I think I share a photo akona condom.
Oh, true. I thought it
As a
would be
brush.
visual.
Is a brochure?
I thought it would be visual. But since it's
We'll do
audio,
photos. I mean,
Yeah.
people
we'll
can
do
check out the photos on our Instagram page
Yeah.
for sure. They need to say that.
yes.
Yeah.
That's how I walk in Embu.
Very
Evo,
nice.
serious, on a
don't know
normal
how
day too, Evo.
Yes, you don't know how controversial it is.
It is.
I can imagine.
Guy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
We don't need to know. We can
Yeah.
see.
Yes,
Yeah.
hata nikikuja tu alikuwa like, sasa huyu madam, what is it?
Anajaribu
With a sure
kuprove nini.
condom.
Yeah.
Ebusa, on that note, your condom. Do people use condoms as much as they're supposed to?
I hope they do, but the numbers are saying something totally
Otherwise.
different.
What number ya condoms nanunuliwa?
No,
Ama-
condoms. Number ya new HIV infections.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the numbers are saying something totally different,
Yeah.
which is quite interesting because the free condoms are still available.
Yeah.
And sahi hata to advance, we're putting them kwa stage za boda, we're putting them in, offices like this ones. If I had come with a dispenser, I would have made sure
Yeah.
It's
nimezistock.
restocked.
Yeah. It's now no longer in only public hospitals and offices. We're even doing it in the private institutions and sectors and all that. Hata kwa barabara, but still, the
People
numbers
not
are
using
still
them.
going
Yeah.
up. So that tells you people are having unprotected sex. Yeah.
From your experience, where do you think this is? Why are people still struggling to use condoms?
From my experience,
Yeah.
With interacting now with our watu.
labda tuseme hivyo.
Interacting with people.
I would say, first things first, people, especially this age, 15 to 25, because that's the age that had the highest number of new HIV infections.
Yeah.
Last year, we had 42% of new HIV infections coming from the ages 15 to 24 years, 25. And it's quite interesting because when I was 15, I was still a virgin. 15-year-olds right now, majority of them have had like 10, 15 sexual encounters, either oral sex or by penetration. And that and then Ministry of Education is refusing for these conversations to go to the institutions, especially at high schools, thinking that they are the same innocent children we were. So this conversation, because it's not being had there, it's not being had at home, and you're not seeing it on media, people assume HIV is no longer an issue. Remember, in 1999, President Moi declared HIV a national disaster. It has never been undeclared up to date. So it is still a national disaster. Hata ukiangalia kwa universal health coverage, HIV is among the top priorities of diseases that have to be brought down by 2030. But the conversations are not being had. And if they're being had, zinahaviwa huku juju, the ABCs: abstain, be faithful, use a condom. We're sticking on abstain. Nobody's abstaining.
Yes.
Nobody's abstaining. Unless now talking about my 12-year-old. And she's among the, I don't know what percentile of people who are, still virgins. Yeah, being faithful is, God.
It's a thing of the past.
I don't even know
It's
if
a
it
thing of
exists.
the apple. Kwanza of being faithful.
Hapo kuna shida kubwa, because even pastors are being caught in sex scandals. So hata wale tunaangalia kama our
role models.
Yes, they're not being actual role models, because hata wana fumble. So the only one we have is use a condom, which should be paramount. And if you go to a 15-year-old right now and you tell them about using a condom, unaingia jela. So unaona tuko na a lot of barriers, starting too from the policies, Ministry of Education, kwenda huku chini hadi kwa community, what we were talking about, cultural sensitivity.
Yes.
Those are barriers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ume mentioned before, I had a comment to make, but before that, something that you have just mentioned. I mentioned, if you go tell a 15-year-old about using condoms, you'll get in trouble. Why?
Because they're not 18. They're not consenting adults.
So they should
itakuwa
not.
like nika unawa encourage to
Yeah.
do.
Actually, it will be called intention to defile that child. Yeah, because I'm encouraging them to have sex. Anyone who's having sex with a minor, that's defilement. They don't call it statutory rape, kama maju. It is defilement. Anyone below 18 ni ndani. That yes.
You know the weight of that accusation. Like,
hata usijitetea utasema nini?
what?
Yeah.
But when we were having that conversation,
We were,
remember, we had a long debate around it. How early should people start being told about safer sex and condoms and using condoms? Ronald for school.
Sorry?
You wanted it to start as early as school, primary school?
No,
Yeah.
high school.
High school.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
I was for
universities, tertiaries, colleges and above.
Nah. Sasa wewe ndio uko na gava. You and government on the same WhatsApp page.
My logic was,
I'm with him.
by the time wanaingia campo, they're already moving mad. Hata before ingia campus, iyo holiday after Form 4,
KCC, yeah.
people are everywhere.
Yeah.
So by the time unakuja kumfundisha about safer sex in campus, na akona ball, unakuja kuongelesha mtu akona ball. Unaget?
What are you saying? Do you know we have 12-year-olds in Embu County who are pregnant right now? Kama juzi.
Are they having sex with people their age?
Yeah,
Ama
maybe.
older people?
This particular case I'm talking about, she's pregnant for her brother who's 13. Yeah. So even if I was to arrest the brother, namu-arrest na nini? What any minors?
What any utoto?
Yeah. So inupuzi tu, like, it's just nonsense.
With your defilement rape, does it still count if
They're the same age.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I asked. Utamshika aje?
Yeah.
They're both
They're both
minors.
minors.
So how do you
Yeah.
charge a minor for,
for defiling another
defilement?
minor?
Yeah.
yet-
Although I saw a case, I saw it on Tuko. There's a 16-year-old boy who was arrested for defiling like 4 5-year-olds
Okay.
in Eldoret or something. Nauko.
Okay, now that to me makes more sense because
They're
16,
really
5,
young.
yeah.
But it's still unfair. What any minors?
Mm. Is that the communities we have around sasa?
Oh my
Za
God.
Nairobi kwanza ni mbaya. Nairobi ni
They are.
adults na bado wanafanya hizi vitu zote kila
Yes.
mahali.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The comment I wanted to make on something that you had mentioned. You mentioned about oral sex.
Yeah.
Nikakumbuka, there's another conversation we were having with Pascal
Mm-hmm.
on our way back from one of the trips that we were having.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't count oral sex
As
as
sex.
sex.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sasa,
They really don't.
let me
Yes.
tell
Yeah.
you mine. Kwanza oral sex. Me, if there's something I stopped sucking dick. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
My friends.
Tulipeana trigger warning.
Yes.
In case you forgot, trigger warning.
Yeah, not to go.
I
Let's
stopped
continue.
sucking dick
Yeah.
because
Mm.
people are getting oral throat cancer. I don't know. It's a long word, but it's really simple.
Yeah.
Esophageal, whatever, cancer because of HPV. HPV is carried by men. And it's present on your skin, on your dick, nani. So me, I'm there just sucking your cock, thinking that, tumepimwa, we are HIV negative, or I don't see any, stuff coming out of your dick. So I think you're okay. I'm sucking HPV, the virus, to my throat.
Yeah.
And sometimes you think it will take longer to show, but many times, right now especially, in a show as soon as it's in the body.
Yeah.
I think it's because we're also eating rubbish. So immunity yetu haiko as well as it should have been kitambo tukipewa ngwashe na ndoma.
Yeah.
Sai tunakula tu indomie, spaghetti, whatever, as long as tumbo yangu imeshiba.
Yeah.
Oral sex, dangerous.
Na hiyo ndo people do not pay attention to
Yes.
at all.
Yes.
Hiyo ndo it's
Like
freely
if-
given.
Yeah.
Imefika hadi point
You
hadi where
easily
people
get
don't
You can't give
consider it
head.
as imefika point
Sexual.
hadi people don't consider it as cheating.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
like
It's just
it
head.
was just oral.
Yeah,
Like,
just
why are you
penetration,
upset?
yes, it
was
Yeah,
just
like, why are you
penetration.
upset? It was just oral.
Yeah, that's dangerous for
Damn.
me. Oral sex, I wouldn't encourage anyone to be sucking people's genitals as much as we really liked it or still like it. Because forget about HPV women, yeast infections.
Yeah.
Imagine if you got mouth thrush. The ones that wazungu ita kudis. But if you got kudis, and you can't hide it because you have to use your mouth for almost everything you're doing every day. The length of time, even if it's a week or two that would take to heal, umeteseka.
Yeah.
Who would want that? Knowingly. And women have yeast infections almost all the time because how our body is. It's cleansing itself. Sometimes when there's a kind of yeast infection and the symptoms are very minute, you don't even notice. But the moment you infect mtu mwingine, they become advanced.
Yeah.
Right. So a guy can get yeast infection from
You
giving
guys
head.
give us yeast infection.
And do we get yeast infection from
Yes, you do. Yes, you
cheeks
do.
when we also
Yes,
give
you
head?
do. Actually, sometimes when people say udema amenichoma because unaenda kukojoa and you feel there's a bad extension, it's not easy infections that is syphilis or whatever. Most of the time, it's just yeast infection. Unapewa tu dawa, flagell, whatever, and
Antibiotics.
it clears within 3 days because it's fungal.
Yeah. On the question you asked, from the conversations I've had before, all the way from more than 10 years ago, because we have been having, just with my clique of guys, we've been having such conversations for a long time. And some of the reasons I've had people say is, one, condoms are uncomfortable. Yeah.
You jumped right into it.
Either, yes. So it's, on one hand, kuna wenye wanasema si tamu. It doesn't feel good.
Yeah, as well.
Na kuna wengine wako like, it's just straight up uncomfortable. Like me just using a condom, it's not a neutral feeling. It's a bad experience. Yeah, it's a bad experience. So why would I use it?
A third one, there are guys who put on a condom and they stop getting hard.
Yeah.
Like in Asia too, it was so for
In
them.
a cut blood circulation.
But they say that like they just do a condom and it's dead. So they don't want to use it anymore.
Absolutely. 100% accurate. Both sides. Like I totally agree with everything you've said that they say.
Yeah.
But I think it's in the mind because people are not used to getting this education. Ni kama kitambo, you remember your parents wouldn't just take you to hospital when you had a cough because kuna ndimu, kuna nini. It's a mindset. So they believe hiyo ni kukupatia poison or something. They even feel like you're getting sicker by taking you to hospital. But right now, because of COVID and, pneumonia, asthma, if a cough is persisting for 3 days, 4 days, umekimbizwa kwa chemist. Basic treatment.
Yeah.
But because we're not having these conversations with condoms, people are like, it is optional. So I can choose, and I can even, it's in the mind. So I can even train my mind to believe that ikiwa raw, ikiwa hapo, I feel like I'm wearing something. Like I actually feel it. Na inanisumbua. I just want to remove it and, go in without. Sasa challenge ya hiyo ni, I don't know how we can untrain them. Because ile stage wamefika, you can only give them information, but it's not 100% guarantee that they're going to renew their mind unless they get an STI.
Yeah.
An STI would be the best teacher for such a person.
Yeah.
Juu ataacha.
Ufunzwe na ulimwengu.
Yeah, utaacha. You don't want to feel pain again. I don't know. I think easy conversations are condoms zinafaa and tu kimbokita. Like uko primo.
For guys,
I think one way I can give a slightly different perspective to this, because now ulikuwa namuuliza high experience. My experience is there are some brands of condoms that are more uncomfortable than others.
Really?
Yes.
Is Sure one of them?
I've never used Sure.
Can I give
but
you one?
I would not recommend.
I would not.
Unfortunately, it's the
one I would not recommend, or rather, I wouldn't be surprised if someone said it was uncomfortable, is trust.
Yeah.
Trust
I
is
don't like trust
uncomfortable.
as well.
Yeah, trust is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's my experience. So it wouldn't surprise me if someone said that they found trust uncomfortable. But now that meant the conversation now we started having with my friends is now, which one is a better brand?
But that's a better conversation.
Yes, not the fact that
Stacky.
To me, to me condoms.
Yeah.
Ndo beshte wangu akaniambia, have you tried this? Uko like, okay, sawa. Ndo akaniambia, this one is way more comfortable. You should try this. This one you don't.
Was it?
It's like
better?
I'm married to Jesus now. But to be honest, I haven't had a chance to use it. But it was, I liked the direction the conversation now started taking. Instead of us saying, condoms is not a good idea. True. It's like, okay, kuna other alternative. But now the downside that we noticed when we were having that conversation is the ones that were recommended as more comfortable were more expensive.
Yes.
Of course.
So now that means it might not be a problem for me,
but it might be a problem for someone
so
else.
many people.
That's how we're coming now.
Yes.
That's how we come in, because Sure is almost of the same quality as Durex. Almost of the same quality. Only that ours is free and unscented. They have a variety of scents. If I was to buy a condom, I'd buy Durex. Because it doesn't, I burst viraisi. It doesn't make me feel like I'm itchy. Because even women get those, allergic reactions.
To latex.
Yeah. I hate trust. I hope they're not listening. But I really hate trust. The condom breaks, ni mingi, like it's so light. Even if they have the studded ones, I really hate it. Every time I use
Pascal
trust.
a flashback.
Yes. Umesema break nikakumbuka, like, okay, it happens.
Mnamo tarehe.
Yeah, so and then also hiyo switi na karatasi, I think ni a conversation yenye tumezoeshwa. Transgenerational sex.
Yeah.
It's a lot right now. Like for me, I'm 32. I would not be having sex with someone probably your ages without being discriminatory. It's because the conversation we're having would sound so familiar to me. I'd want someone who's giving me, na unajua raisi alisema tax, vitu mzee. Yani, I feel like I'm being enlightened. Yes. So I'd probably be having sex with someone who's 38, 40.
42.
But let's ask, who's 38 or 40 who's not married? Snona.
The liars.
Yeah.
Mwenye atakudanganya.
No narcissists, probably.
Akwambia, hii ni birthmark.
It's a promise ring.
It's a promise ring. I saw that on the internet. Did you see that, Pascal?
Yeah, mimi nimeona birth.
promise ring. What she was given is a promise. Is a forever ring.
Yeah.
That
It's not an engagement.
from
not a
a
marriage ring.
forever friend.
Yeah. So transgenerational sex. When you're having sex with someone who's married or
Yeah.
in a long-term relationship, this is someone who's already having unprotected sex.
Yeah.
So when they're coming to you, they're not expecting anything different.
Yeah.
They'll just put you on family planning. You'll get the self-test kit test. And then when you test negative, both of you, you continue to having unprotected sex.
Yeah.
But now I'm not married. So I have multiple partners.
Yeah.
And probably all my multiple partners are within that age.
Yeah.
And all of them are with the same mindset.
Yeah.
Mi siwezi kula na karatasi.
Yeah.
So naona sasa iyo ring.
Yes.
Mimi I'm the infector.
Yeah.
Or probably they, because they also have to clandestine somewhere else, have been infected. Wananipea mi nazungusha tu inaenda mpaka kwa bibi zao.
Yeah.
If the wives have boyfriends, it's going.
Yeah.
Yeah. So condom is an issue that should be taken a little more seriously, especially on STIs when we're talking about HPV. Have you guys heard of HPV?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it? Yeah, I have.
What is it?
Is it? There's hepatitis as well.
Kwanza
Yeah,
hiyo
I'm under
umetaja.
HPV. I'm under
Hiyo
HPV.
umetaja. No.
They're different.
They're different.
Okay.
But they're
Compared to
both viral.
Uh-huh.
The viral hepatitis A, B, and C. Kwanza inatusumba. You see, this time doctors walikuwa strike. Do you know we lost 2,000 Kenyans to hepatitis B, which is sexually transmitted. And then it's not like HIV unaambiwa ati you have now about 10 years left. You have 3 days. You're infected today, you begin showing symptoms today, kesho kutwa you're gone.
Okay.
So when the doctors were not around, the nurses did not know how to effectively treat. So we lost 2,000 people in a span of less than 1 month here in Kenya to hepatitis B. It is sexually transmitted. I don't think people get tested for hepatitis B. When you're testing for STIs, I think mostly people test for hizi zenye zinaonekana, syphilis, gonorrhea. And even it's a handful of people who test for that.
Yes.
Maybe
yes.
wazungu or
a
people
lot
who
of people
only test HIV.
Yeah, it's so rampant,
Yeah.
Adi. And it's something that I have never hidden. I go to test for fun, especially for HIV. Like
Good for you.
any chance I get.
That's a good habit.
Mi nikikuwa karibu na Kenyatta na sina form na kwa activistiko pale.
Is it still free?
Napitia. Yes.
There? Okay.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Last time I went, which was I think late last year.
That's a good time to go because it was almost Christmas.
So the time that I went,
Unafanya nini Christmas?
we're just September babies ni wengi. That's all we'll say.
I have one in my house.
Yes.
September 17th.
Exactly. So,
Yeah, my firstborn.
No, mimi.
September 17th.
Yeah.
You're a Virgo.
Yeah.
Shut out.
so
To your birthday.
this year I went back because it finally hit me that I had never tested for these other STIs. So I went to a institution inaitwaje Mbagathi. I went to Mbagathi.
Mbagathi is really good.
And they were actually surprised.
That you want to test for those things?
Yes.
Wakakuuliza kama una suspect uko nayo?
Yes. First wakaniuliza ni ya shule. Nikwambia I'm not even in school. Sema okay, sawa. Na si HIV peke yake. Nikwambia HIV najua. Yeah, so that I don't need to test for that. So they looked so surprised that a young man would just come in and say, I want to test for this.
Were you tested for HPV?
Long story short, it was a very long process.
Of course.
Yeah, it was a very long process.
Because the kits are different.
Yeah.
The kits are very different.
Very long process.
And unahamishwa from, because there's a HTS provider who specializes
alafu
in
ilikuwa
that.
Iyo time ya doctor strike.
Walai?
Yes. So imagine even for them that's not a priority. That's not where they're allocating resources. Unasumbua akili.
Like, have you done a risky behavior? Have you done anything bad? Hapana. Unafanya nini hapa?
Like unakuja kutupotezea time. It's like, what are you doing here?
But unaona sasa Mbagathi, I like it because the CCC is very like, how do you say it? They're very wanashughulika sana to get to the root cause of why you're there.
What's CCC?
Last I went there to take PEP. You know PEP? Post-exposure prophylaxis.
Yeah.
Hey, hata sijui kama nitakunywa PEP tena. Because, you know, the counseling was so intense. Boy, you cannot be having unprotected sex. This country is not allowing, you know, watu ni wagonjwa. People don't even know they're sick. When did you do it? With who? Was he married? Do you know the partners? Come on. Hey, the next time I think of having unprotected sex, I'll just be remembering that woman at the CCC. And all those uncomfortable questions, I don't think I want to engage. I'd rather just use a condom. Yeah. Or use PrEP.
Yeah.
And now, coming back again to why people don't use condoms, it's because of these dawas. Unaona hii story ya Vasha? Hii ya juzi yenye watu walikuwa Naivasha for, what was it? This was for Subaru boys.
WRC.
Yes. WRC. That's a problem for this country, but well. Our CEO, Dr. Ruth Masha from the National Syndemic Diseases Control Council, happened to have been there. And, you know, they had a booth with the condoms and the PrEP and the PEP, pregnancy test kits, HIV testing kits, whatever, TB, whatever. You know, it was comprehensive, SRHR plus information. People were not coming for condoms. Watu walikuwa wanaruka direct to
PrEP.
Test me, give me PrEP. Or test me, give me PEP. And these nurses are like, but you know there are STIs. I don't care about STIs. Mi kitu nataka tu ni postino 2 and PrEP or PEP. Give me one or, you know?
Yeah.
And it was like that till the last day. And they even went to the news. It even made headlines. Wakona condoms, about 125,000 condoms. Only 12,000 condoms were picked. Walirudi na hizo zingine zote. But PrEP na PEP, they were asking for more. Too many zingine. Pandisha kwa gari. You know, these kids are unruly. Yani hata wasikii. Sijui wanadu nini huku. Wanameza tu madawa.
What come to that? Is there an effective replacement for a condom?
Now, for people who, you know, there are people who hata ukawaambia ndakufungia stenje mpaka ile siku change mind yako, they would not use condoms at all. Those people, we advise them, go to a clinic, preferably public, get tested. If you turn negative, you're a candidate for PrEP, which is a pre-exposure prophylaxis. You take it if I'm supposed to have sex, for example, Pascal is traveling to Mombasa next week. On today's on Thursday. He's traveling next week on Thursday. So today I've gone to the clinic. I'm negative. I'm given my drugs. I'll take one today. And then I'll continue having protected sex until Thursday. So Thursday, when I have unprotected sex with him, I'll take my next dose. Hivo until the exposure is not imminent. But for as long as the exposure is imminent, I'll continue taking one.
So is it one to cover for 7 days or one a day for the 7 days?
Before, I have to take one 7 days before. And then after exposure, one each day.
For how long?
At the same time. For as long as the exposure is imminent. So if it means me and Pascal are living in the same house and I don't know his status, he doesn't want to test. I don't want to get positive. I'm on family planning and I'm also on PrEP. So for as long as me and him are having sex, I will continue taking PrEP. And that is, you remember I asked you, do you know what is U equals to U? U equals to U is undetectable equals to untransmittable. And that is the science we're using now as scientists. We believe that, and it is proven that if you're undetectable, if your viral load is below 50 copies kwenda chini, 0 to 0, you cannot transmit the virus. Whether you're breastfeeding or having sex or whatever, you cannot transmit. Because ni kidogo sana, it cannot be transmitted. And this is how discordant couples are living. That someone is living with HIV and the other person is living negatively, can live together without infecting each other. Huyu anameza dawa zake, huyu mwingine mwenye ako negative is on PrEP. This is just an assurance for them that even if this person, by sheer bad luck, does not become undetectable, anything can happen, especially with the HIV virus. Neza meza dawa zingine, nikute viral load yangu imeanza kuspike tena. Even if it's at 51 or 60, it's still going up. Aneza niambukiza because we're having unprotected sex. But if I'm on PrEP, it means that I am still protected, even if their viral load goes up. Yeah. So that is U equals U. U equals U also works for people who want to have unprotected sex and they're living with HIV. That they don't have one partner. And they want to continue having unprotected sex.
Wajafunzwa na ulimwengu bado.
Reinfection. You know, people don't think reinfection is a thing, but unaweza kuwa reinfected with a different strain ya HIV. Ikuje kurarukie. Ikuwe mbaya kuliko ile ingine. And then also remember, there are people who are living with HIV for years, almost 20 years na hawajui. They're very asymptomatic. Ni poa if everyone gets tested as regularly as possible. Right now we have a shortage. Test kits. So government is advising once a year or when you feel like it's necessary. Like now when you're getting PrEP, or if you've had unprotected sex with someone you don't know, that is a time to, get tested after a while because you can't get the answer immediately. Maybe when we have sex leo unprotected, you won't get a negative, a positive today. Maybe after 2 weeks, 1 month, 3 months, even. Yeah. Testing often. Ndo maana hazifiki kule.
Ndo maana hazifiki Pascal.
Hazifiki huko.
Yeah. So just to be clear for our audience, what kind of STIs are transmittable through oral sex? And the reason why I'm insisting on that is, again, your point yenye tumemention here, people really don't consider oral sex as sex. Yeah, they just take it so casually.
Ni zote zenye zina present kwa genitals. HPV, no. Chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis, yeast infection, pubic lice. You guys know about pubic lice, no? Do you guys shave? You should.
Lice zile za nywele zinashikanga huko chini.
Kwanza hizo ndo zinasaidia sana
nywele ni nywele. Na kwanza uko ni conducive environment.
Alafu zinakuwa spread bado.
Yeah. And then una transfer kwa mtu mwingine. Unfortunately.
Mtu anaweza nipatia lice.
Yeah.
New fear unlocked.
So watu wanyoe.
Watu
wanyoe. Keep it as short as possible ndo uweze kuona. They're usually black. Vitoto black. Tukitembea. Sometimes when they're settled, they look like bumps. So you'd think it's a razor bump. Yeah.
Mbona Pascal unakanika
umeshtuka unaanza kushuku watu
new
fear unlocked. Tuachie hapo iko
unlocked kwa na flashback ukakumbuka
mnanipea
that was that
like black
I saw
bump.
something moving.
like I saw that and
I saw bump moving. Ilikuwa hapa which other STIs do people need to note of?
Just those ones are the craziest right now. You remember super gonorrhea? We still have that strain. Bado iko. And it's sana here in the capital city of Africa, here in Nairobi. Mnasumbuka nayo, lakini pia mnatusambazia huku ushago. Hiyo kitu ni untreatable. Yani, I don't know, ushaiona una-treat homa but haiishi. Alafu ni kama inaenda kikuwa mbaya.
I know people wenye wanakuanga na mahoma zenye haziishangi.
Inaweza kuwa wanafaa wapimwe. Those are symptoms for HIV. Yeah.
Testing kits hazitoshi.
We have the self-test kits, but they're on the self-test kits. It's a disclaimer that those results are not 100% accurate. You know, neza kwa nimekula mchele, and then mchele libaki. That's just an example. So ina tamper with the results. So mi naangalia hapo, niko kwa nyumba yangu imeturn positive. Ya mjamaa imeturn negative. We start fighting. Or I commit suicide. Nikienda kupimwa, I'm negative. But sasa, we keep saying when you test, go back to the clinic for a confirmation, for confirmatory test. And then we also have the story for female condoms and the male condoms. Many people don't know about the female condom. If this was a audio visual, I'd have shown you because I've carried one. The female condom, for me, is actually the best condom of all the condoms that we have right now. Because there are people who don't know, especially women, who don't know how to negotiate for condom use. That my partner will come in and say, leo sijiski na condom. And because I'm a woman and I only know the male condom, hakuna kitu neza do. I'll accept to have sex with him without protection. But if I have a female condom on, apende asipende, he has to use it because it's already in a sitoi just because you're uncomfortable. Number two, it's better for shots mingi. You know, this is scientifically proven that most HIV infections happen at 3 a.m. Yeah, I'll tell you why. Or why do you think it is?
It actually ties to a comment I was supposed to mention on his question. Why people don't use condoms. And it brought me back to a conversation I had with one of my former schoolmates in campus. Akisema, you know, unaweza ita dem, then uko na protection. Let's say umebuy your 3-pack.
So
then uzitumie by 12:30 zimeisha. Alafu muamshane saa 8:30 usiku. Like it just we have already been here for several. Let's just continue. I mean,
actually that is the answer. So that is the answer. Let us see necessarily that condoms ziliisha. When you wake up at 3 a.m., the first thing you think, male and female, ni kukojoa. Then I come back to bed and I realize, oh, you're still here. Okay, let's continue. Nobody has the thought that, Ebu go to my handbag, get that condom, let's check the manufacturing day, and then tufungue vizuri, let's open it. Nonsense.
True.
I'm hard your wet. Let's continue. Tulale. We will wake up in the morning, we look for pep. Ude mata labda kona haraka zake, labda lihepa home, or maybe she's late for work, asa house story ya pep. Unaona. So 3 days, 72 hours zimeisha. She's already a candidate for new HIV infections. So that's how most people are getting infected right now. It's not because they're not using condoms, they're not using condoms consistently.
True.
So the female condom inasaidia juu kilala nayo, you just continue. You know, when you're peeing, it doesn't, pee doesn't get in the condom.
I've had situations that Chica never stay with a condom the entire day, go through the rest of her day like normal.
The female condom though.
The female one,
Yes. And then also on PEP, most people don't know about PEP. This is a post-exposure prophylaxis. It is still the dawa we give people when they are raped.
You're near after.
Yes, you're near after. So this is how you take it. You know, people assume you can take it at any time. If I've had unprotected sex today, right now, up to 72 hours, I am qualified.
Even 3 days?
Yes, I'm qualified to get PEP if I'm HIV negative. I have to go to a clinic, I get tested, I'm negative, I'm a candidate. But for the first 12 hours, the first 12 hours are the best. Kama unataka effective protection, yes. The first 12 hours are the best. Tuna advise watu, even if you're raped, do not clean yourself, get to the clinic, get your PEP, and then now get a swab, the test, the rape kit done on you. And then now we proceed with the legal whatever. That's the best time to get the right treatment and care. There's a question you asked about the 48-hour drug. What is that?
And there's something also that you mentioned. What do you call it?
The event-driven PrEP.
That one, yes.
Do you guys know about the event-driven PrEP?
I don't.
You only know PrEP.
Yes.
So PrEP, if you event-driven...
Wait. Before that, PEP,
is
after
post-exposure.
That, and then they'll take it for a month?
Yes, you take it for, not a month, 28 days. And 28 days. When you're done, you have to come back to the clinic for a review checkup, a review test to confirm you're still negative. Because you know right now, HIV symptoms or the HIV tests positive even after 2 weeks. Si kama kitambo tulikuwa naambiwa 90 days. So after 1 month, if you come back and you still have it, if you're positive, it will test. If you're negative, we'll assume does nafanya kazi. So we release you to the world, we tell you there's PrEP, there's condoms. Choose the one you want. And then don't take it sana. Because this is ARV. PEP is actually the dawa we give people who are living with HIV. It's the same drug. So if you take it sana, your body becomes resistant to the virus. So assuming that one day you're actually really exposed to HIV, hizo dawa hazitasaidia. Yeah. So you only take it once or twice in a year. If you find yourself taking it more than that, it means you're a candidate for PrEP.
Which is what wamesikia. Once or twice a year.
A year.
Only.
Yes,
Not a month,
yes.
not a week.
Yeah. See, kama postino too, you can take anytime. And by the way, I don't know why guys think you can have an emergency every time. Like every Saturday you have an emergency on P2. Oh, just get no plans.
Olive, Nairobi.
Nairobi ama Kenya. Si ukujembu uone
Uko pia ni kubaya.
Buda, Gen Z wako kila mahali. Na tabia ni zile zile.
Wavasha ndo hao pia, wanax ndo hao. Coast hata tushiki.
Yeah. Alafu wana to blame.
So that's PrEP. PrEP nayo ni...
Now, PrEP is the pre-exposure, before exposure. So I've told you how you take it. 7 days before, and then 1 each day for as long as the exposure is imminent. And you take it at the same time. For ARVs, you take at the same time. That means if I've taken it at 3 p.m., tomorrow at 3 p.m., the other day at 3 p.m., every day at 3 p.m., I cannot skip. Why? Because these dawas have a 24-hour life shelf in your body. Your scientist alieka to 24 hours. So you have to top up exactly after 24 hours. Now, event
daily bundles.
Zinaisha exactly. Saa 8 usiku. So event driven, for you to remember, it's 211.
211.
Yeah, for you to remember how to take it. And this is mostly for men who have sex with men. Mostly. So I'll take 2 pills, 2 to 24 hours before I have sex. And then I'll take 1 pill tomorrow, which is exactly 24 hours after I've taken this one. And then I'll take another pill 24 hours.
That's the blue pill.
Yeah, it's the blue pill.
Yes.
For anything about PrEP, it's the blue pill. PrEP is the white one. So event-driven is 211.
I like that now we know hizo colors. PrEP ni white.
Yeah.
PrEP ni blue.
PrEP ni white na ni kubwa. PrEP ni blue na ni kadogo.
Okay.
So you take 24 hours before.
2 to 24 hours before exposure.
Yes.
Ngoja.
Mbili. Unachukua 24 hours before.
Double dose, remember. It's a double dose.
Okay.
The first one is a double dose. This is for people
Utapewa
who...
4. Tablets 4.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. So 211.
I remember the VCT person explaining that.
Yeah. That's event driven. And it's mostly for men who have sex with men and male sex workers. Yeah.
How come?
So is it still effective for heterosexual couples?
The formula? Well, the scientists who created it insist it's for men who have sex with men. Okay. For heterosexual, just stick to 7 days before, 111 for as long as exposure is imminent.
These other ones at least are given more timeline. 24 hours, because you'd know 24 hours before you engage. But a week, 7 days before.
Yeah, so
Nairobi people don't plan themselves that long.
I don't have enough planning to know 7 days from now.
Actually, you've summarized a point I wanted to say. The main reason why people are not using condoms is because sex is not planned anymore. We don't plan to have sex. It's always random. Tumekutana na wewe kwa barabara. Oh, hi. Coffee, nini, alafu.
Next thing we know,
we're having sex. And I don't have a condom. You don't have a condom on you.
And so, I didn't plan to take PrEP before. 7 days ago.
I didn't know I'll meet you 7 days ago.
Yeah.
So how?
Yeah. So now you're a candidate for PrEP. But if you think that you're going to be consistently not using condoms, it's easier to just get the PrEP because it works. We have numbers and numbers of people who are on PrEP and they're still negative. Kumanisha, if you use it properly, it works. Yeah.
What are the side effects for these drugs? I've had several people complain, utapike,
No.
Una feel dizzy, una feel body weird.
No. Hiyo sijui alikuwa nakula ni, labda alikuwa nakula chalk. It's not possible. But every drug has a side effect. That's why it's a drug. So the positive side effects ni, you possibly could prevent getting HIV. The negative or the challenging side effects would be you probably get very thirsty. You have headaches, mood swings. Hizo tumesikia sana. Na dawa hizo zote ni maji.
Madem na maboy.
Yeah. Hata kwa PrEP na PEP, the side effects probably would be the same. Although for PEP would be a bit more serious kwa sababu ya that is actual ARV.
Yeah.
So kama ni thirst
Yeah,
ya ukweli, kama ni kichwa inakuuma ya ukweli. But dawa ya hizo zote ni kukunywa maji, hydrating, and you'd be feeling fine after a week.
And just to clarify, do all these medications also take care of the other STIs?
No. They have no relationship at all.
Okay. So because I'm thinking, as someone who wants to live a quote-unquote free life, I might easily interpret that information
as that you've taken care of everything.
Yes. As long as I've taken that, niko sawa. I don't have to worry about who I'm sleeping with. I don't have to worry
about...
Be very
worried.
Especially if you choose,
if you choose to go that line, your problems are more.
Yeah.
Because yes, you've taken care of HIV. Remember, HIV kona treatment.
Yeah.
That's what I keep telling people. You're preventing something that has treatment.
Yeah.
HPV tutakupatia dawa gani? Hakuna kitu tutakupea. And HPV inaendanga ikiendanga. It becomes cervical cancer. It becomes cancer of the dick. It becomes ear, throat.
Yeah.
It has so many problems. It creates ukona warts and all that shit. It's a problem all round.
Yeah.
So watu mietu condom, because they're STIs you cannot, we don't have prevention for at all.
There are things you should be more worried about.
Than HIV. As much as, yes, we are doing HIV awareness, I think HIV is a smaller problem at this point, because there's condoms, there's treatment and management. For HPV, chlamydia, sawa, takupea dawa ya bacterial infections. But what will you give your mind? Because you'll have mental health issues after that. Utakuwa so traumatized. Mi nakwambia shit, you don't sleep. Imagine if yeast infection, unashindanga tu hivi kama unapepeta your vagina or your dick, juu ya hiyo heat na the pain. Now imagine chlamydia or syphilis or gonorrhea.
Umesema warts.
Genital warts. Yeast infection pia. Pubic lice itakusumbua, utajikuna mbele ya watu. Yani, no pain.
Ladies and gentlemen,
watu haogopi.
Stick to condoms.
Watu haogopi huko nje hizi vitu zote.
But men also should get tested for HPV, because you guys are the carriers and you are asymptomatic most of the time. So unaweza kuwa umebeba the virus and then unipatie, we've been living with you for 30 years and then after 30 years ndo mimi naanza kushow symptoms. And we don't know why I'm showing symptoms. Kumbe umekukinipea unaniongezea tu dose daily. Every time I meet with you, unaniongezea dose ya HPV. But if you test, I hear there is a way you can be able to prevent. Yeah.
So for people who are in relationships, the best bet is just
testing. If you want safer sex, because I remember that's the question you asked. If you want safer sex and you're in a relationship, number one, honesty, communication. It would rather be an open relationship. Kama ni mbaya hivyo. Let it just be open. Let it be said that if I'm traveling to Embu, believe me, I have to have sex. So nakuomba tu tafadhali nikubali. But me on the other hand, nitatumia condom. So ukiniona na condoms, please don't fight it. Because I could be getting infected na nikuja nikulete. If I'm unable to use protection, I'll be on PrEP. So if you see me with the blue pills, please don't get anxious or start fighting it, because it's a protection for both of us. Because being faithful, like we mentioned, the ABC, abstaining, is a bit of a challenge. Being faithful, almost impossible. But using a condom and preventing, that should be consistent and paramount in every relationship. Whether you're having multiple partners or you're having one consistent partner, you should consistently talk about using condoms. In a relationship where it is a long term, it prevents pregnancies, unwanted pregnancies, STIs. There are people who love having sex when you're in your period. Damu iko na infections. So also preventing yourself from interacting with the blood, which could also infect you. Condoms are, everyone should be talking about condoms. All of us.
Me, I'm afraid.
Metromatize Pascal.
Vitu niko like, unasema juu ya condom kupasi niko like, can't remember.
Even me. Hata mi nikimeza pep mara mingi inakuanga condom break. Not even unprotected sex.
Yeah.
And hizo to trust. So I'm not trusting them anymore.
Yeah. Trust is not to be trusted.
It is not to be trusted. I'm sorry if you're listening, but yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I'm sure we had so much more that we could cover.
Yeah.
I know, there's so much to talk about this. And maybe even next time we'll cover the stigma around HIV.
Yeah.
Just to get into detail how those people can get help.
Can I briefly touch on that?
Yeah.
Juicy, maybe a week ago, I'm in a group here, artists, Kenya. This people you see on Showmax and Netflix. And someone mentioned, we should have sanitary products on sets, like a set like this one. We have a desk somewhere. I can pick my pads or my tampon, menstrual cup, whatever. Then I said, yes. And also condoms. Wacha wasanii wamke. So you were saying people should be having sex on set. I said, we have condoms in public offices. The president's office has a condom dispenser. Does it mean that people are having sex in public? Your group imefungwa mpaka leo.
That's why I'm surprised.
Yeah, your group imefungwa mpaka leo. People are like, oh, you're so primitive and disgusting. How can you even think of that? We have 5-year-olds who come to set. Yes, we have 5-year-olds using public toilets, and we have condom dispensers in the toilets. It doesn't mean that when there's a condom present, we're going to have sex right now. The reason why people are also not using condoms is accessibility.
Yes.
If a condom is 70 bob, na mimi ni stude sita inama ndio nidinyane.
Yeah.
Ndadinyana tu hivyo na 70 bob ninunue skuma and whatever na nikule. Accessibility to this product. And then remember, you're on a set, you're working, you're not paying people on that time, at that time. Utalipwa a month or two later after invoices imefanywa na nini. So this is someone who's really struggling, probably to access them. And then issues on GBV. If I am able to negotiate for condom use, I tell you, if there's no condom, we're not having sex. Do you know, someone with that skill is more likely to recognize when sexual harassment is happening. Juu already anajua hii conversation na mezoea kuihave. So anajua mtu akitry kumharass or trying to, put them in a position where they're like being objectified sexually, they can recognize it. It makes your cast a little more aware and it makes it safer. But people don't want this conversation ya condoms kukua hapo. So it's not just stigma on HIV, it is also stigma on condom use. Yeah.
And to a condom manze. Hapo umefanya ka aunty.
We would go.
Hapo umecheza ka aunty sa vizuri.
Yeah.
Hey, nice. Yeah, we really do need to cover this conversation more, but we need to put this stuff out there. The condoms, the topics, the conversations. Yeah. People need to know. And thank you, manze, so much for coming.
Actually, thank you for having me. I wanted to come kitambo, but this is mvua floods. Ningekuwa nikuza kitambo sana.
Lakini to go out and definitely also reach out. We'll tag you. So if there's any help people need, maybe they need to know where they can get PrEP or PEP or other, or even more condoms, they'll reach out for that.
But whichever county you're in, we have the comprehensive care centers that we call the CCC that are being funded by USAID. In every public hospital, you will find those dawas there. You'll find lubricants, female and male condoms, and they're all free.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. We need more of this.
In every county.
Ron, you're good?
Niko sawa.
Tuona nini, we'll go and everyone please be safe. Safer.
Safer.
Please be safer.
Bye.
Bye.